The man who body-slammed giants, wore the red and yellow like armor, and made brother a battle cry, is gone. Hulk Hogan, the face of professional wrestling for an entire generation, has died at the age of 71. For millions around the world, he wasn't just a wrestler, he was a hero, a symbol of power, energy, and unshakable American pride. But behind the ripped shirts and iconic mustache was a life filled with stunning victories, personal scandals, and a legacy that only grew more complicated over time. Because what happened outside the ring might just be more jaw-dropping than anything that ever happened inside it. It happened early Thursday morning in Clearwater, Florida. A 911 call came in reporting a man suffering cardiac arrest. And when paramedics arrived, that man was none other than Hulk Hogan. He was rushed to the hospital, but it was already too late. At 71 years old, Terry Bollea, the man the world knew as Hulk Hogan, was pronounced dead. Authorities confirmed there was no foul play, no suspicious activity. Just a quiet, devastating end to a life lived at full volume. The news hit hard. Rip Hulk Hogan exploded across social media within minutes. Wrestling legends, celebrities, and lifelong fans posted tributes, videos, and stories of how the Hulkster changed their lives. For many, it wasn't just the end of a man, it felt like the end of an era. But to understand why this loss cuts so deep, you have to go back to the beginning of Hulkamania. In 1984, a muscular Florida native named Terry Bollea stepped into the WWF ring and instantly changed wrestling history. Under the name Hulk Hogan, he wasn't just a fighter, he was a force. Charisma, showmanship, unmatched presence. Kids copied his flex. Adults bought his shirts. He became an American icon. By 1985, he was headlining the very first WrestleMania, teaming up with Mr. T to take on the villains. When he slammed Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3, 93,000 fans erupted in one of the loudest pops in wrestling history. That moment became legend. He told fans to eat their vitamins and say their prayers, and millions listened. Hulkamania wasn't just a catchphrase, it was a movement. But wrestling was just the launch pad. Hogan's fame reached beyond the ring fast. In 1982, he played Thunderlips in Rocky III, giving moviegoers a taste of his larger-than-life persona. By the 90s, he had his own Saturday morning cartoons, starred in movies like Suburban Commando, and became a TV icon with Hogan Knows Best, a reality show that gave fans a chaotic look inside the Hogan household. He was more than a wrestler, he was pop culture, a walking action figure. Kids dressed like him for Halloween. Talk shows couldn't get enough of him. His voice, his look, his energy, all instantly recognizable. Hulk Hogan had become a brand, but with fame that massive came a price. In 2012, Hogan's world was flipped upside down. A leaked tape surfaced online, showing Hogan in a private moment with his best friend's wife. The footage, posted by Gawker Media, spread like wildfire, but Hogan wasn't backing down. He sued for invasion of privacy, and what followed was one of the most explosive legal battles in modern media history. The courtroom was packed. Every headline dissected it. And in 2016, a Florida jury awarded Hogan $115 million in damages, plus $25 million more in punitive damages, a total of $140 million. The lawsuit bankrupted Gawker and raised major questions about privacy, journalism, and celebrity culture. Through it all, Hogan never stopped smiling. In interviews, he reminded the world, "Everywhere I go, people still treat me like I'm the champ." But the spotlight wasn't done with him just yet. In 2024, Hogan did something that left even his die-hard fans divided. He stepped onto the stage at the Republican National Convention and ripped off his t-shirt in front of thousands. Underneath was a bold, bright Trump Vance campaign shirt. The crowd lost it. "Let Trumpamania run wild, brother," he shouted, blending wrestling hype with political fire. It was classic Hogan, theatrical, loud, unforgettable. But it also sparked backlash. Some saw it as Hogan taking his character too far. Others saw it as patriotism in action. Either way, Hulk Hogan was once again dead center in America's cultural chaos. And just when you thought he was fading into retirement, you can know as an event, this days is no matter that talking about house in towards part of math. It open heard and all side an eventing that created here talked about his story. Section 6. Reinventing wrestling one last time. In April 2025, Hogan made a surprise announcement. He was launching a brand new wrestling league. Not just any league, the Real American Freestyle, pitched as the first ever unscripted pro wrestling organization. That's right, no scripts, no rehearsed outcomes, just raw, unpredictable action. And Hogan wasn't just a spokesperson, he was the commissioner. He said the goal was to give young wrestlers a platform, a future. Wrestling is wrestling, brother, he told reporters. The debut event was already scheduled for August 30th at Cleveland State University. Hogan wasn't slowing down. He was evolving the sport he helped build. But the clock was ticking, and no one knew how little time he had left. Even in his 70s, Hogan stayed in shape, stayed smiling, and stayed connected with fans.
Public appearances were rare, but when they happened, they drew crowds. Fans still called him champ, they still asked him to flex, and he did, every single time. He feuded with legends like Randy Savage, he passed the torch to The Rock in an unforgettable WrestleMania X8 match. He built WCW's most iconic era as Hollywood Hogan and led the New World Order, flipping his image and sparking the legendary Monday Night Wars. He made wrestling global. But beyond the character was a man who'd been through wars, in court, in the tabloids, and in his own home. Yet somehow he always came out swinging, always smiling, always telling Mean Gene, well, let me tell you something, brother. And now, that voice has gone silent. Hulk Hogan didn't just change wrestling, he was wrestling.
He built a legacy on charisma, chaos, and unforgettable moments.
He gave fans a hero to believe in, a villain to hate, and a story to follow. From WrestleMania to the courtroom to political rallies, he never stopped being Hulk Hogan, for better or worse.
The red and yellow, the ripped shirt, the crowd chanting his name, that was real. That was unforgettable. And now, it's history. There will never be another Hulk Hogan.
And that's the truth, brother.